I took like a big exhale during that. I don't know if anyone heard that. Hello, and welcome back to The Recovering Collector here on New Toy Robot. I'm Michael Jason Francis. Welcome. Had to rush real quick because I wasn't quite ready. And so hopefully everything's good. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm real excited about this. Yeah, I'm just going to show them. Like, I picked up Ahsoka Tano, and I've been kind of hanging back with her. I got that last year. And then Bo-Katan, like, just randomly showed up at Target. I didn't think Bo-Katan was coming out yet, but just randomly showed up at Target. So, yay. Backstory time. Let's start backstory on Ahsoka Tano. So, back in like 2008, George Lucas and David Fillion, this probably was 2005, I think was when it actually happened. What happened was George Lucas finished the prequels from Star Wars and wanted to make a show that kind of filled in the gaps about what happened after Clone Wars. And so, or during Clone Wars, not after it, because the Attack of the Clones, part 2 for Star Wars, it ended with the Clone Wars starting. So you never really saw anything, and then by the time Revenge of the Sith happened, it was just already pretty much wrapping up. But Lucas wanted to kind of, fill in those gaps. So they came up with one of the things that they wanted to do. And what makes Ahsoka such a really, like, a big character for Star Wars was before Ahsoka Tano showed up, before Jen Erso, before Rey, it was just Princess Leia and Queen Amidala. Those were the only two female characters. And I'm not going to get into a whole gender thing about this, but it was a gender thing. It was all guys. It was all, you had Princess Leia, you had Queen Amidala, and that was it. And honestly, Queen Amidala in the third movie, she was just pregnant and really upset most of the time at Anakin or about the way things were going. So you didn't really have this, like, I don't want to say like badass character, but women kind of were just the love interest, I felt like, in the Star Wars franchise. So 2008 comes around. It's time. Hi, Dahlia Love. Dahlia Love says hormones. That was what was going on with Queen Amidala, because yes, she was pregnant. Welcome to the show. You can't hear me. Hold on. Can you not hear me? Is that what's going on? Oh, I can now. Okay. I rushed to make sure I could get on track on this episode, and so okay, I had to double check to make sure I wasn't muted. So these female characters in the Star Wars universe were kind of like the backseat. You saw Mon Mothma for like 2 seconds talking about how many Botham spies died for Return of the Jedi, but you didn't really have like a real strong lead character. Princess Leia was awesome, but she was a backseat to Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. So 2008 comes around, and there's a Clone Wars, animated Clone Wars, the General of the Rebellion. Wait, okay. Hi, Hatter, welcome. Okay, Princess Leia, yes, okay. General towards, when was it? The seventh one? But she was honestly played out a lot of times as a damsel in distress. Maybe everyone's going to hate me for saying that, but she was like the damsel in distress. That was like her role. Love Princess Leia, all that fun stuff. But she was a damsel in distress. So back 2008, there was a Clone Wars movie. Mon Mothma was the leader of the rebellion. The women were in charge. Okay, Hatter. Yes, fine. Okay, fine, Hatter. You can have it. Fine. There was no lead. You know what? Forget it. I'm just going on with it. There was a Clone Wars animated movie that came out that was basically, it was Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Anakin Skywalker, on the very first episode, got a Padawan. That Padawan was Ahsoka Tano. What was really interesting was David Fillion didn't want Ahsoka Tano to be a tragic character that would help lead Anakin even further to like the dark side. Dahlia Love says sisters are doing it for themselves. oh. Oh my god. David Fillion didn't want Ahsoka Tano, like I was saying, to be the tragic figure because Ahsoka Tano is a Jedi that just came during all those movies. So there, at the time when Ahsoka Tano came about, there was 6 Star Wars movies, and there was no Ahsoka Tano in any of them. So everyone just assumed whatever Jedi there was before that, with all those films, would be dead. So David Fillion wanted to make sure that Ahsoka Tano wasn't that type of character that would add to Anakin's leap to the dark side. But hold on, I just lost my track. Hold on, I'm looking for. But so Ahsoka Tano, when she first came on, people, of course, had her. Ahsoka was his therapy puppy. No. And what was really interesting, so Anakin was, as you saw in the movies, he was this kind of like do what he wants to do, he knows best kind of thing. Ahsoka Tano was his Padawan who was like exactly like him, you know, more, I feel, more responsible, but would, you know, really show Anakin what he's putting Obi-Wan through by what Ahsoka would put Anakin through. So therapy puppy. So we have Ahsoka Tano. She makes it. We have her through there's 5 seasons of Clone Wars. I'm going to throw this in here too. So by the time the 5th season of Clone Wars happened, Disney bought Lucasfilm. And basically, most of the projects that were happening during that time were scrapped. So by season 5, the end of season 5 for the Clone Wars anime cartoon, Ahsoka Tano basically just was done with the Jedi, was done with the whole Jedi Order, and she was just like, I'm out of here. And she left. That was for season 5. That was the last time we saw Ahsoka Tano. And season 6 showed up, but the only reason there was a season 6, like I said, Disney bought Lucasfilm. The only reason there was a season 6 was because so much of it, or at least these episodes were made, it was too expensive to just scrap them. So Disney was like, let's just release them. And so we got this like half-assed season 6. And Ahsoka Tano didn't even show up in it. So we're all kind of left behind going like, well, what happened to Ahsoka? I mean, she's not in any other movies. Is she dead? What's going on? Fast forward to a couple years later, Star Wars Rebels comes onto the scene. Star Wars Rebels was on Disney. What was it? Not the Disney Channel. It was like Disney's more teenage channel, Disney Extreme, Disney, I don't remember. And Star Wars Rebels shows up there. And one of the seasons, we have Ahsoka Tano, a slightly older and wiser, shows up and fights alongside the rebellion and even throws down with Darth Vader. Darth Vader, aka Anakin. Spoiler, if you don't know that yet, I'm sorry. There's even an episode where Ahsoka is fighting her old master, because nobody really knew what happened to Anakin after this whole fall and when he became Darth Vader. They just saw Darth Vader, didn't know what happened to Anakin. Even Obi-Wan was like, I thought he was dead. You know, even though Obi-Wan just left him there dying by the lava pits, everyone just thought Anakin was dead. So Ahsoka just assumed that he was dead, along with all the other Jedi. It's funny. Ahsoka left the Jedi Order, so saying, you know, it's not really a huge surprise that she wasn't part of the extermination when the Order 66 came about. But it's still, you know, you had to know what was going on. Hello, Polar Bear. Welcome to the show. What are you saying? Lurk? What is that? Anyways, so no one knows what happens to Ahsoka Tano. 6 years later, we finally get, 6 long years later, they finally decide to wrap up the Clone Wars cartoon. I'm not going to go into too much about this because it's still pretty fresh. I think it was last year when it came out. So go watch it now. It's on Disney Plus. Go watch the seventh season of Ahsoka Tano. Seventh season of Clone Wars. You know, it's funny. It is pretty much Ahsoka Tano's season. But go watch that and check that out because it's really it's pretty cool. But one of the things, so Ashley Eckstein, the voice of Ahsoka Tano, had this really cool quote that I thought was really neat, was that she said that there are very few characters that every single person can see themselves as. You know, so basically, you kind of follow somebody who you closely relate to, either by gender or by actions and stuff like that. So Ashley said that every single person can see themselves as somebody. We all can be Ahsoka. We can put aside our race and gender and be Ahsoka. And she said, I think that's so powerful. And I agree. I think that's very true. I think Ahsoka Tano is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. I just means I have you on the screen. Oh, wait, what? Polar Bear, but may not be fully paying attention. Well, Polar Bear, I'm glad you're here anyways. Thank you. And another thing to point out about Ahsoka Tano is Ahsoka Tano is not a Jedi. It wasn't a Jedi because they couldn't hack it. You know, it wasn't because Tano just couldn't do it anymore. Tano just picked a different path. You know, and that whole time they never stopped like helping people or trying to take down the Empire. So it's important to kind of put that together with this character. Is they didn't fail to become a Jedi. They just didn't want to be one. You know, and after everything that they saw with the Jedi during the Clone Wars, like how could you not, want to go on a different path? You know, yes, food is very important, Polar Bear. I'm glad Hatter agrees as well. So Ahsoka Tano. Okay, now next up we also have Bo-Katan. Now, if you've been following a Lego Brick in the Wall, you know that I've been doing a trivia called The Fandalorian. If you're going to be here tomorrow, you're going to learn a lot of stuff right now about Bo-Katan. And hey, this is your chance to take some notes and be ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow will be the last Mandalorian. That will be I'm going to finish that Boba Fett helmet. And wait, this isn't the Lego show? No, Hatter, it's not the Lego show. And Jedi corruption. Yes, Jedi corruption. So, some of these things you may have heard from the trivia I mentioned during the Fandalorian, and some of this stuff will be new. So take notes. Like I said, Wednesday will be the last Fandalorian trivia. And who knows? Maybe there'll be some fun prizes. I don't know. So Bo-Katan. So basically, Mandalore was the planet where basically, well, not like I mentioned this before, it wasn't like a warrior race. A lot of it reminded me of King Arthur's court and stuff like that. But as long as, like many other planets, the Empire swoops in, or the Separatists or whoever during that time swoops in and was like, look, you're going to have to work with us. And half the planet did, half the planet didn't. Basically, Bo-Katan refused to align with the Empire during this time. And what was really crazy, because her sister was basically the Duchess Satine, who was pretty much like the Queen of Mandalore. So Satine was like, yeah, we're going to work with the Empire. We need to have peace, blah, blah, blah. And Bo-Katan was like, no, we're not going to do it. So, they basically split off into different fractions. There's a cool group. Bo-Katan was part of the Death Watch, which is a militaristic splinter group that sought to restore Mandalore's like warrior past, warrior history. And what's interesting, interesting little tidbit, Jango Fett was actually part of Death Watch. I was affiliated with them as well. I forgot who he saved, but he saved somebody and was quite a little hero. So yeah, Bo-Katan. Now Bo-Katan was in the I forgot what year, what season Bo-Katan showed up, but Bo-Katan was another character that was created for the Clone Wars cartoon, and we get to see again. We got to see them again in the Mandalorian season 3. I'm not gonna say anything. Watch it. No spoilers here. But you know, after things went down on Mandalore, and there was a huge siege, and the Empire basically took it over. But this is pretty much Bo-Katan is pretty much the rightful heir to the throne there. So Bo-Katan, I wish I had more information on. Wields the Darksaber, but there's no Darksaber here. I know they want it. I wish I had more information on Bo-Katan, but Bo-Katan, yeah, was just, there wasn't as much. Like Ahsoka, there was so much more behind. But Bo-Katan was just the cool, badass character that kind of showed up in Mandalorian armor that everyone really likes. I mean, Katie Sackhoff played, that's a lot of info. Thanks, Daniela. Katie Sackhoff plays Bo-Katan in the new Mandalorian show. So if you don't know who Katie Sackhoff is, go watch Battlestar Galactica. And I don't mean the 70s one. I mean the one with that Ronald D. Moore. Ronald D. Moore, who also did Outlander, which is another show you should watch. So let's get these open. You mean Starbuck? Oh! Love. I thought you were making fun of Starbuck. Yes, Starbuck. Yes, Katie Sackhoff was Starbuck, which was a whole other thing because Starbuck was originally a male in the 70s show. And what was his name? Played by the guy from the A-Team. Gil Gerard? Was it Gil Gerard? Anyways. Okay. Wow. Just bashing on Katie Sackhoff. Anyway, let's start unboxing these. You know, and it's funny too because in I think it's the season 7 of the Clone Wars, Bo-Katan actually asked. I was gonna say Katie Sackhoff was gonna ask Ahsoka Tano. Well, actually, did ask to join them in the fight against the Empire, and Ahsoka was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." So here we go. I think you're trying to say frack, Love. Freck. It's frack. That was their F word that they would use in like wrong show. Yeah, frack in Battlestar means the F word. So okay, so let's get this going. Let's switch this over here to the show. I've already pulled out of the box. Let me look at the box. Hold on, real quick with the box. There's so much glare on the plastic of this that I was like, you know, let's take it out. So this is from Star Wars Rebels. So this is the Ahsoka Tano that's in the episodes from Star Wars Rebels. And it says here, Ahsoka Tano, Traguta, I'm going to say Traguta, female, was the Padawan learner to Anakin Skywalker and hero of the Clone Wars. Alongside Anakin, she grew from headstrong student to a mature leader, but her destiny laid along a different path than the Jedi. And then everything else here is in a different language. I wish I could read them off. That's all we have on the box. Black Series has changed their boxes a little bit. It's more, they've always been kind of like this size. It's not like they're trying to save cardboard or anything like that and save the environment. But they've added a lot more artwork to their boxes. Before it was a lot of silhouette stuff. Okay. Ahsoka Tano. Ooh, what's this? Are these instructions or warnings? Warning, choking hazard, small parts. So you can swallow the lightsabers, apparently. So here's Ahsoka. Ahsoka was also, I mean, like, there was some female Jedi in the prequels, but they, I don't think, had any lines. And then basically you just kind of watch them die. So not only do we have a lead female Jedi, but we have one that's with double lightsabers. Interesting fact about her lightsaber is they were actually, so when a Jedi, this is get ready to geek out, when a Jedi gets their crystals, they go to a special place to find their crystals, and the crystals call to them. When a Sith gets their crystals, it's usually a corrupted Kyber crystal. I think it's Kyber. It's usually a corrupted Kyber crystal. So Ahsoka Tano and her blades are white. Ahsoka Tano actually uncorrupted a Sith's double saber and created, like, basically uncorrupted them, and that's why they're white. So do with that as you will. Let's see if Ahsoka's like tied in here. No, she's not. So I'm just gonna pop her out like so. Okay, Ahsoka's very cool. Got a lot of really good detail. So this is the Ahsoka from Rebels. So they're older than what you'd see in the animated Clone Wars. Got some cloth on here, and then the rest is kind of like this rubber and stuff like that. But check out the detail in the face. Like, this is just... Was that in an episode? I must have missed it. No, I actually... I didn't mention before, but there is an actual... there's a novel, an Ahsoka Tano novel that is out there that I definitely recommend for everybody to check out. And in that is how you learned about her white blades. So there you go. So this is Ahsoka. So Ahsoka is really cool. I don't know if... So it's... No, a lot of times, well, at least the smaller figures, that you get two lightsabers. One would be the one that's on and the one that's off. These apparently are just gonna... Oh, no, they come out. Oh, okay. Blades come out, because there's two lightsaber hilts here. Hilts? Places to put lightsabers. So I'm gonna do that, if I can get it on there. Woo. Okay, there's one. Let's see if I can get him to stand. Stand. Nope. Yep. Okay. Stand. Yay! All right. It's such a cool figure. These Black Series figures, it's funny. They run for... I mean, they cost more when they're not in circulation, but they're about $24, and honestly, they are so worth it. So look at that. Check that out. Got both of the lightsabers on there. The detail is so cool. There's lots of articulation. The ankles, I complain a lot about ankles on the figures, especially when there's a lot of articulation. There's a weird ankle on this one. That's why I was having such a hard time trying to stand, but I think it's fine. A little tweaking and it's all good. How's my audio? Am I too loud? Am I running too loud? Because I keep trying to adjust everything, and I'm still looking at it. It still keeps running hot. If anybody who's not Polar Bear, because Polar Bear's eating, Value Love, it says perfect. Great, thank you. I appreciate that. Sounds fine. Hatter said sounds fine. Good. I'm putting these back on because it's time to... There we go. I have a Grand Admiral Thrawn figure as well, and you know, if you don't know who Grand Admiral Thrawn is, he was actually the first alien admiral in the Empire, because the Emperor pretty much just wanted humans, but there was something about Admiral Thrawn, and so he's the only real... It's funny the way they played it out, because originally he showed up, and I have the books. I think Timothy Zahn, he did like a trilogy of books, and Grand Admiral Thrawn kind of appeared to that. And he was like a secret admiral because he's not in any of the movies, but they say it's because he's an alien. He's the only alien that's an actual general for the Empire. The reason why I'm saying that is because Ahsoka Tano is looking for Thrawn in The Mandalorian. That's not a huge spoiler. Maybe it was. I don't think it was. But I really want to... I can't wait to open up Thrawn and just have him throw down with Ahsoka. Well, basically, it's funny. Thrawn is... When you watch all the... when you read... Not watch. Oh, no. Well, he shows up in Star Wars Rebels. Yes, Heir to the Empire. Well, he shows up in Rebels. He's more of a strategist than an actual warrior, fighter. So having Ahsoka throw down with him when he doesn't have an army, I feel is kind of unfair. So maybe I won't have her destroy him right away. Okay, so here's that. Here, you know what? I have him right here. I want to show you Admiral Thrawn. I'm just in, because it's that kind of... It's a crazy Monday night. Lucasfilm did a 50th anniversary Well, Lucasfilm, Hasbro. Actually, so Lucasfilm right now, I think it's this year, is the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm, which is all kinds of crazy. If you look up, Lucasfilm was basically the first like successful independent film company. Anyways, 50 years. So they brought out these re-release of figures. I didn't get Thrawn when he first came out, but this is him. See, he's blue. He's all blue. Grand Admiral Thrawn. So yeah, watch Rebels. You can catch him on that. But I do want to definitely like have Ahsoka just be like, I finally found you, Thrawn. Ta-da! Now you're in trouble. You're lucky you're in that plastic. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Bye, Thrawn. Let's open Bo-Katan. Okay. So Bo-Katan, here we go. This is the Bo-Katan, not from the animated series. This is from The Mandalorian. So this is going to have the Katie Sackhoff likeness. Sorry, there's such a glare on this stuff. Let me get them out of the package. There we go. Package-wise, you got some really cool artwork, like the other one. Just says Star Wars, Mandalorian. Bo-Katan, I can never say the last name. Crazy. I don't know. I would just say Bo-Katan. I always forget there was a third name. A gifted warrior, Bo-Katan is a legendary Mandalorian. She refused to align with the Empire's occupation of Mandalore. I already told you guys that. So there you go. You don't even need the package. I already gave the information. Let's see what we got. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so it's got the Katie Sackhoff likeness to it instead of the Clone Wars version. More warnings. I'm going to get the helmet out first. As a kid growing up, even now, any toy that came with a helmet you could put on. Do you remember? Okay, there was a show in the 80s called Mask. I need to get one of those. I need to get one of those and have an unboxing of one of those. In the 80s, there was a show called Mask, and they had figures. And the best part about the figures is they came with a helmet or a mask that you could take on and off. So anytime there's like a figure where you can take the helmet off, I'm always just like, I'm there, I'm sold, I'll buy it. I'm all about the accessories, especially if it's a helmet. Let's get the guns out. They actually tape the guns in. I'm real excited about this because they have the two blasters and there's actually holsters you can put it in. So let me get the guns out. Fond memories. It's funny too. I really want to do an unboxing. I was trying to combine mask and boxing. An unboxing of mask. There was I'm trying to remember. I don't remember any of the names. I remember the vehicles. There was like a Trans Am that would turn into something that would kind of fly. There was a motorcycle that turned into a helicopter. But it was such a cool series. Matt Tracker had the Trans Am. Brad something was the one on the motorcycle. Oh God, there's a rocket pack here too. Okay, hold on. Let me get this out. Okay. Yes. Okay. Rocket pack. Okay. Yeah, once again, like detail-wise, like this is just so cool. I mean, from the gauntlets, you know, like I told you, it's got the holsters, the armor. I mean, yeah, I guess it's pretty blurry. Let's see if I get a good look. It looks like Katie Sackhoff, maybe. Actually, if you look real close, it looks like RoboCop when he has his helmet off, but it's fine. Let's get the backpack back on. Backpack back on. There we go. I want to put the guns in the holsters. Let's holster these bad boys. There you go. Holster 1. Holster 2. Okay, in the holsters. I'm going to have... Does the arm bend here? It's funny, when you first get these things, they're so stiff, and I'm always worried. I'm trying to make something bend that's not supposed to. Okay, there we go. Okay, back. I want to have it like she's ready to, reach for the guns. Blasters, not guns. Same thing. Yeah, ready for a fight. Dahlia Love, I think you should have this figure since you love Katie Sackhoff so much. There we go. Putting on the helmet. The one thing about no, that's okay. The one thing about how it used to be with it, when you put the helmets on the figures, there was even some Star Wars figures in the 80s that had their helmets. Was that every time you do it, it would take the paint off the hair and whatever type of limited paint was on the face, it would come off also. So whenever you would actually take the helmet on and off, you'd be taking the paint off. So okay, hold on, there we go. Look at that. Yeah, hold on. It's time to throw down. Whoop, hold on, wait. It's the ankles, I swear. Let's see what we can do with Ahsoka Tano here. Hold on. It's all about the pose. Yeah, the ankles on Ahsoka are really weird. Okay, hold on. There we go. It will start off with one of those, hey, I just need your help. Come join me. And Ahsoka's like, no. And then, like, Bo-Katan's like, yeah, you got to. Because, you know, stuff. I know things. And they're like, I know things too. Okay, there we go. Stay. Oh, no. Okay, so there we go. Oh, God. I can't get him to stay up. I can't get her to stay up. Okay. It's fine. Here, face this way. There you go. Now you can, there's a better look at them. Here, they're not fighting. They're just kind of showing off. More of a friend thing. All right. Okay, so there you go. Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano Black Series. If you can find them at Target or something like that, get them right away. I think you can pick up Bo-Katan on like eBay for like $30. Ahsoka's a little bit more. The other versions of Ahsoka, the figures, the other versions of them are just like $200 to $300. Like, it's crazy. They're pretty cool. There's some pretty good looking figures. But if you can find this one, just get that one. Sideshow Collectibles has one of their figures, their detailed figures that's going to be coming out, I think in August. That's going to be more of the season 7 Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars. There's also going to be a Darth Maul. Darth Maul gets involved in season 7 in Ahsoka. Darth Maul at one point became like the leader of the Death Watch, like overthrew Bo-Katan and like took over the Death Watch. I know in Solo you saw Darth Maul. He was the kingpin of something. He was like the Jabba the Hutt. Oh, they just fell over. He was like the Jabba the Hutt in the in Solo at the very end. Surprise! But he's the leader of Death Watch towards the end of season 7. So watch that. That's not a spoiler. Not really. It's just part of the story. There you go. It's just part of the story. So definitely check that out. It's really, you know, the expanded Star Wars stuff. There's so much positive to it as well as all the negative that people are throwing at it. Bottom line is Star Wars had to evolve. It just did, you know. And I'm glad it did, because without that evolution, we wouldn't have Ahsoka Tano. We wouldn't get like cool Bo-Katan stuff. I think this Star Wars Clone Wars animated series is something that really got to really open things up and not make, you know, Star Wars was in this tight little box of like Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and that was it. You know, and then when we got the prequels, it was very hard for us to even get out of that box. And then we were like in 2 boxes by the time like the other trilogy, the final trilogy came out. And we just wanted nothing to do with it. I'm not a huge fan of what happened in basically the last 3 films. But you know what? It's a story. It was something that was told. And still, it's Star Wars. You know, it's Star Wars. And speaking of something not Star Wars, happy First Contact Day to all you Trekkies out there. I know it's a thing. I do watch some Star Trek stuff. I don't have much as far as Star Trek collectibles go. I have the first Star Trek motion picture like poster. I love stop it. I have the Star Trek motion picture for like the original one sheet poster, but other than that, I don't have too many. I don't have too many collectibles from Star Trek. But happy First Contact Day. If you don't know what that is, it was when the humans first met the Vulcans. Is that what it was? Hatter, you'd know this, maybe. So happy first Vulcan. Happy First Contact. I was going to say it was First Contact Day. Oh, well, there you go. Perfect. Was it? It was when they first met the Vulcans, right? And then they learned how about like warp drive technology. Look at that. I know my Star Trek, right? Warp drive technology. I think that's how they. I think that's something they learned. Don't tell me what year it was. Wait, 2065. Was it 2065? It's like you stop it too. Welcome to the show. But yeah, it's First Contact Day. So thank you once again for coming to the Recovering Collector. Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan. Go pick them up. They're really cool. Come back on Wednesday. A Lego brick in the wall. I'm going to finish the helmet collection Boba Fett helmet, which is, I built some more of it, and it's starting to look less like Punky Brewster's Treehouse. Since nobody else was going to bring up Punky Brewster, I brought it up. Punky Brewster is now a staple of this show and every other show on New Toy Robot. So come back Wednesday. I'm going to finish up the Boba Fett helmet, and also it'll be the last playing of the Fandalorian trivia game. So there you go, Punky. I love shouting that out. So come join that, and then also on Fridays, the Recovering Collector. That's the show. On Friday is the Just Draw the Damn Thing. Come play. It's fun. It's a drawing game. You can all participate and show your artwork. Dahlia Love, congratulations. You are master of the line. You won, because Hatter and I and some other drawings that came about were not as wholesome as your x-ray of the bunny rabbit using the word lung. So Dahlia Love, congratulations. You are master of the line for the week. Brag away. Hatter, I know you're secretly crying, but please join, have fun. You get to post your drawings on Instagram or Twitter with the hashtag NTR Draws. And then next week you could be master of the line like Dahlia Love. And that's it. I'm Michael Jason Francis. Thank you once again for joining me, and I will see you next time. Oh, you're getting Starbucks.